I feel like Peyton Sawyer is a very different person than I am. And I'm so defensive of her because she's like a broken winged bird, you know? And there are other people in our industry who have done teen dramas who try to distance themselves from it. It's like, guys, it's a genre we make fun of. You know what I mean? And so for me, always like owning her and defending her has been, it's been a life's work.
But also, like, have we forgotten what is their show? Come on, Claire Danes and Jared Leto's classic.
My So-Called Life.
Like, they're two of my favorite actors who make the most incredible Academy Award nominated films we've ever seen. Like, I don't hate a teen drama. I love it. I think it makes you great.
People love them.
People love them.
And you said something that I thought was so smart.
Girl, all day. This is I know exactly what you're going to say.
No, you
This
tell
is
them because it's your mantra and I love it.
Listen, all these folks out there winning awards with good scripts, I'm not impressed. Because if you can take a script and make it relatable and watchable and like make somebody cry, you're a winner.
I agree. And I think about that so often and I'm like, if we can make you weep and have a deep talk with your family after an episode of our show on a very mediocre script 98% of the time.
And a dog can eat a heart.
Exactly.
You know?
we can jump sharks and you still love us. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude.
That takes some real metal, if I may say so, for all of us.
Yeah. So in watching this, guys, I have not seen anything since I left.
No, I haven't either.
Like,
no, not a
and
thing.
I never saw the last 3 seasons because I was like off having babies and like, just on a different planet.
Buying alpacas.
And so frankly, I'm nervous about rewatching because it's like, I know it's going to be painful to watch myself learn how to act on camera.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't in class. I'd taken classes for years. I'd done theater forever, but TV acting is so different.
So different.
I am also nervous to rewatch because I know where my personal life was during those 10 years.
Yeah, sure do.
And I know what your literally whole face just turned red.
Yep.
Your literally whole face just turned red. Oh my God.
We got a lot in common, ladies.
Yeah, but when I think back on, there's so many parts of myself that I also have invested money in therapy. And have, done a lot of work as you do when life kicks your ass. And when I think about the sort of superiority complexes that I had back then, and like how judgmental and like how there was just so many things that I look back on my younger self and I don't know if you guys do, but I cringe at a lot of those moments. I mean, I'm still learning to forgive myself for just being human and growing and learning. But I think back and I know I inserted so much of that into Haley. And so when I watch her, when I have seen clips or things come on, I always cringe because I'm just like, oh God, she's so like, is that what I was like? Oh God. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I felt insufferable.
I'm so sorry.
I'm insufferable. Oh man. Well, you know what's so interesting to me about it though is I also feel like, and we've had this experience, the three of us, over the years, and we've talked about this with the fans. So many of you listening at home probably know facets of these stories, but there was so much, not only of us as young adults who, by the way, knew nothing. We were learning in real time.
It's the first time a lot of us were away from our parents, like ever.
Yes. Like it was kind of like being pushed off a cliff and trying to get your like skydiving backpack on at the same time. It's a wonder none of us is dead.
Yeah.
So congratulations to
By
us.
the way,
drug
of all the
addicts, no
casts, like we've thrived.
We've
guys.
really done
all right.
Everyone's alive. You're like, we're doing great.
We're
And
doing
you know,
great.
as you said last night at dinner, we all had dinner last night, and you said you were talking about the benefit of being in Wilmington when we weren't being able to be snapped by paparazzi coming out of a restaurant. But like that stuff messes with you when you're that young, and no wonder a lot of kids without guidance and without their parents still there just kind of went off the rails, that. And I don't know that we would have been any different if we hadn't been protected by our location in a lot of ways.
I mean, even the aspects of it that we did experience were really traumatizing for me.
Yeah.
Like it was so hard to handle this notion that everyone wants you to fail so they can make fun of you, but also you're meant to be perfect, but no one knows how to be perfect, let alone an adult, because we were 20 years old. And like, I mean,
children.
We were children.
Listen, the only thing that ever, because I was always like drunk, hungover. Like that's gonna be the hard part of watching this for me. Is like, oh, that's a hangover.
You're the fire belly.
I was a brute. But the only paparazzi mess I ever ran into was at this hotel.
No way.
We are at the W Hotel in Westwood.
Yeah.
And I came out in like season 5 or season 6 to start pitching TV shows that I'd created with my little brother, Billy. And so Billy had worked on our show. Billy and I are staying here, maybe even in like one of these rooms, because I knew it had like 2 bedrooms here. And the next thing I know, like the magazines are reporting Hilarie Burton seen laughing over dinner at the W Hotel with a mystery man. I was like, it's my brother. Ew, gross.
Oh my God.
But it was so late, and I felt so violated. And that happened to me once, And so I can't imagine, you're right. The kids that are just under the microscope all the time.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because when we think about it, there was that external attention. There was the very real world of what we were learning on set and being human beings, making mistakes and, being hungover and figuring it out. and
I was never hungover.
Never.
It's part of my problem, by the way.
We'll get you there.
we're making up for it. But,
believe me, I've done since then.
I think that there's something so interesting also about our ability now, the privilege really of getting a version of a do-over of this female friendship that is so important to the 3 of us.
Yeah.
That has been such a lifeline. We do have these tattoos on the inside that nobody else has. And we've been able to be like, oh, wow, weird to learn that there were some adults who didn't want us to be friends because they thought we would negotiate together. So they like pitted us against each other at 20. That's dark. And yet, no matter what anybody ever tried, the ways they wanted to mess with us or the way the industry was trying to mess with kids in the early 2000s or anything, like the 3 of us came out like Joans of Arc, like just out of the fire, like, what, you can't f with us? And I love it.
Yeah,
I just love it.
All of us got involved in advocacy.
Yep.
We're all a little surly. And I would say,
Who, us?
You, us? No, never. No, I mean, I think rewatching it together as a group is going to be fun because I didn't know what you guys were going through on the show. And so
all we could do, especially at that age, is assume. Like, that's one of the things that we don't, at that time, I guess, when we were being raised, guys,
we
a different
didn't even have
generation.
texting. Like, we couldn't even text each other.
No, but I had a Motorola Razor and I thought I was so cool. We'd flip our phones open and be like, wow.
That T-Mobile one that was like a typewriter.
The sidekick. Oh my God.
I still remember the sound of the sidekick opening, the shink,
and then the soft keys, the like,
but we weren't taught how to be like the value of being vulnerable with each other, and so that it was okay to just be like, guys, I feel insecure when I'm around you, and all you're doing is talking and bouncing off each other, and I don't know what to say, and I can't keep up, and like, can you just like make space for me? Like, nobody would have taught me to say that when I was 20. It's just wasn't part of the generation we were raised in.
But we can now.
Yeah.
And it feels so special. And I think about all the young women who reach out to all of us all the time who are watching the show now.
Yeah.
And who talk about how important our on-screen friendships are. And I'm like, man, we're getting the better version of any version of a friendship we had on screen or otherwise. We're getting it now in our adulthood in this new era, to your point, Joy, of like women actually being taught to go to bat for each other instead
and for themselves.
Yeah, like we're not each other's competition, we're each other's greatest champions. Yeah. But back then, everyone around us wanted us to compete with each other. And I don't know, I think that all this stuff that's so scary to watch, I'm so relieved I get to watch with you guys.
Joy's the talented one, Sophia's the gorgeous one, and you're the angry one. And I was like, what?
Okay. Wow.
Said to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
They said horrible things to us.
It's not wrong. It's like, I was pretty angry.
You're also beautiful and
well,
talented.
I think we all do okay for ourselves. But in doing this, I think those titles are a fun thing to poke at. You know, like we're going to have our friends on the show.
Yeah.
Lee had his experiences, Antoine, James, all of our peers also had those experiences. So throughout the course of this whole series, like I'm excited to have them on because they're going to have a totally different experience
they'll
than we
have
did.
experienced things we never did, for sure. This is what you were saying, Sophia, is I think it's the biggest reason why we wanted to do this podcast, because as fun as it is to reconnect, I love doing this with you girls. And, you know, this is such a cool revisit to a major pop culture moment. Yes. But the fact that now as older women, you know, Hilarie and I are moms, raising young girls also, just being able to offer to the younger generation a vision of what a sisterhood can look like. For women who grew up watching the show to be able to revisit that maybe with some of their girlfriends, you know, maybe you out there listening will learn along with us some of the things that we some of our takeaways, some of the things that we're learning as we heal in some ways, which I think this is going to be healing in a lot of ways watching
I don't know, guys,
as well.
that second season mullet I had, I don't know if I'm ever going to get over it.
Yeah. But anyway, I think it's going to be great, and I think I'm really excited because I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of young women tuning in.
Yeah,
I do too.
All right, let's get weird.
Sorry, you can always count on me to be sincere.
Listen, and you can always count on me to ruin it because I'm like, feelings are so hard.
We love to lean in, and Hilarie's like, I got a joke.
Guys, I'm so sweaty right now.
Say something funny.
Feelings, this is why I was always hungover.
This is why we're a good unit.
Yeah, we were cast really well, and it's weird to think that there was a person out there who was responsible for choosing our friendships for us. And for me as a kid, that was hard because I was like, you can't tell me who to be friends with. But like, they did a really good job. Like, we all turned out great, and the conventions we do are so fun.
Yeah.
And so this is an extension of that.
Yeah.
Should be great. So yes, we've got a whole. How many seasons? 9?
We have 187 hours of television.
What?
We do.
Yeah. It's so
nuts,
many
man.
hours. It's so many hours.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It's a lot. Like when we get those messages and someone's like, I'm rewatching it from the start for the 4th time. I'm like, thank you. And also, do you have homework? Or like a job? Are you really? Us? Okay.
Hang
It's
in.
flattering.
Comfort food.
Yeah. Who's going to be the person you're most excited to have on and pick their brain?
Paul's going to be a blast. Look, no lie. That's going to be fun. He's got a lot of energy.
I can't wait to hear Moira's perspective.
Yeah.
Because like she was our age when we started our show.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I just want to look at her and be like, were we idiots?
Oh,
Did you like us?
She's going to have
Tell
so
us
much
everything.
to say. I love her. And Barbara, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
Barbara's so
you know.
fun.
That was so
Antoine
cool.
for me is
Oh
so
my
fun
God.
because his perspective on Antoine had like kids who were teenagers when we were
Yeah.
shooting the show.
Yeah.
And so he also was removed from it in a way where he could just watch us like spin our wheels and be messy and loved it.
He loved
Yeah.
it.
Like when Antoine called you and was like, you need to go out tonight. We're going to Sidebar. You know, like you knew,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to get a lecture tonight. And he would just make sure that everything was cool. He was like
Yeah.
a good negotiator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antoine's the party.
He really is. And for anyone listening at home who might not know, Paul played Dan, Moira played Karen, Barbara played Deb, and Antoine played Skills. When you think about the sort of epic feeling of, oh my God, I've been cast on a WB show. Do you guys remember? Because when I think about landing at, our sweet little 6-gate airport, which by the way, when we've gone back for conventions, I'm like, oh, I just love it here. It still smells the same. Like
It's the smell.
It's perfect. But I remember leaving the airport and I had to go straight to the studio for like a first meeting. And when I pulled into Screen Gems, the side of one of the stages had that huge Dawson's Creek mural on it.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it was so great. Like at 20 years
Something
old,
big
it was
is happening
so
right
crazy.
now. That's what it felt
I was
like.
just counting the
really
days
big.
till our own big old heads got put up on the side. They put
And
us,
they did.
And they
They
did.
put us in like the side of the cafeteria. That, like that building.
The entire side wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was down with that. We all landed in different parts of town too. Like when you first get cast on a Warner Brothers show, you all stay at like the Riverview Suites in Wilmington,
Yeah.
you know, which is the suites. It was like an extended stay hotel.
Yeah.
But then we all went off and picked our own places to live. And Joey, you were at the beach, right? Didn't you go out to the beach season one?
Oh my gosh. I think I did, because that was the year we got those dogs. Remember, Sophia? Yes. We got those dogs.
Oh, we went on a Saturday and got puppies.
I know. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't invited to puppy day. I was hungover.
You might have been.
Party.
I think we were scared of you.
at the beach.
So angry.
I moved downtown second season. So yeah, I think, where did you go?
Well, the very first place I got, because they put me up for the pilot, and then it was like, okay, child, here's a chunk of money. Go find a place to live. You know, and like I'd never signed a lease on my own before. I didn't know how to do that. And so I found an apartment for like $650 a month that was directly across the street from Karen's Cafe. I was living above Firebelly. And it was the first time I'd ever lived alone. And there was this dude next door to me who was so scary. His name was Glenn. If he's listening, I don't even care that you know you're scary, because you're listening to this, which proves you're scary. So anyway, Glenn was so weird, and like would lean out on his balcony to peek in my balcony. And,
Oh God.
and then I found these holes in the wall, and I was
No,
like,
you did not.
but I didn't know if it was just a shitty building or like Glenn was
Like Anthony Perkins'
like,
psycho
scary.
holes in the wall.
So I was so scary. So that is when I started
Norman
inviting
Bates.
the crew to come over every time they rapped at Karen's Cafe, just because I didn't want to be by myself. And so I ended up having like ragers at this little $600 apartment.
Yeah, you did.
And it was fun. Like it was a great time.
I was not far. I was also off Front Street. The first apartment I found was
You had a
was
nice
gorgeous.
apartment.
God, I loved that
Gorgeous.
apartment. It was just in such a weird little building that I think there were only like 4 apartments. There was a weird staircase that went up the side of every level. And I think it was like 2 apartments per floor. It was basically the unused space that someone realized they could be making money on, because it was the other side of the rooftop of the real cafe.
Oh, that's
my
right, 'cause I remember that brick wall.
It was all that exposed brick, because I think it had been outside, and then they just made it inside, and they put these 4 apartments in this like random
That was so
space.
cool. So
And it was so cool. And I remember having to negotiate with the parking lot across the street, because there was obviously like, there was no parking, there was no nothing. I had negotiated with the parking lot that was across the street that was like a, you know, pay by day place. And I like ran around until I found the owner like in a bar one day. And I was like, hey, like I live across the street, and is there any way I could just like pay you every month to park? And I paid $95 a month to have a parking spot.
That's so much money.
Which was
my
so much money to me
So
at the
much
time.
money.
And now I think about like people complaining about how in New York they have to pay $1,200 a month for
Yeah,
parking.
yeah,
And I'm
minimum.
like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have been complaining, but we were just so broke.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it was all so weird. I remember, you know, you get your like little, they give you a couple $1,000s and they're like, buy your own plane ticket and then move across the country with all your stuff. And you're like, okay. Like it's
Sure,
all so
mister.
scary. But I loved that apartment.
Yeah,
I think
it's such an
did you have
adventure.
a bunch of scrapbooking stuff?
Yeah.
I
Oh
feel
my
like
gosh,
I came
that's
over to
right.
pick you
You
up
were
and you were
so-
like, this is my scrapbooking room.
So into it.
I was so, my whole quote dining room table, whatever that was just covered in photo album shit. And I think I was into it for like a year, and then was like, well, I have a lot of, what's that called?
Decoupage?
No, cardstock.
Cardstock.
Yeah, see, look at what a
the
bad
scissors
scrapbooker
with,
I
like, the
am.
weird
With the
edges.
weird edges.
Oh
I was
my
like, I'm going to
gosh.
cardstock and I'm going to make borders and it's going to be beautiful. And then I was like, no, I'm not.
No.
I tried.
Listen, we've got a whole TV show. That's the scrapbook.
But see, this
right.
is the thing. Even when it's not going to last, I'm really committed to the thing I decide I'm going to try to do, even if it's just for a moment.
Yeah.
There's been so many hobbies that I've been like, scrapbooking, I'm going to do that.
yeah.
I'm going to learn how to, I don't know, play the guitar.
Knit.
Never did that either. But I have one.
Do you?
Part of being an artist,
Yeah.
though, I think, you know,
Yeah.
you explore all these different ideas.
I did
see
try to
what
learn to knit.
Fits
Damn
the
it.
best.
Listen.
Knitting, that's right.
We all picked up weird hobbies to keep ourselves busy on set.
Yeah.
A lot of, pre-social media. Now everybody just like scrolls through their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Back
we
then-
actually talked to each other and read books
I mean,
and had
yeah.
knitting circles, kind of. Not really.
We would
And we got
interrogate the
dogs.
new kids.
And we got dogs. That's
Yeah,
right.
guys, I didn't get a dog.
I did. Little Annie. She was such a good dog.
And Carolina.
Oh.
Carolina, you remember that little
my God.
golden?
Yeah.
Yeah, little golden. Was she a lab or a retriever? I don't know what she was.
They were
was so
cute little
sweet.
farm dogs.
Yeah, she ended up on a farm. I just wasn't ready to take care of an animal at that juncture in my life, but I am now. Listen, before we wrap up, I have kind of a little surprise for us.
I like surprises. Dun, 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 dun.
Joy always has good surprises.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so this was given to me by one of our executive producers, Greg Prange, at the wrap of the pilot.
The wrap of your
Congratulations
reshoots.
of the. It could have been the end of season 1. It was a big gift, so maybe it was the end of season 1. I'm not sure. I just remember having this moment. It was definitely like the first at the very beginning.
I mean, that's a nice
regardless,
box.
look,
What year
this is
is
a
that?
1996 box of Dom Perignon, and it's not a box; it's a bottle. Excuse me.
definitely didn't
It's a
get
box
one
with a
of
bottle
I,
in it.
yeah, Joy, what did you do that we didn't do?
Yeah.
I thought everybody was like
No, I
getting.
think you truly like reached out the pilot and you got a present.
I guess that was what it was at the end of
Yeah.
the pilot. So anyway,
Wow.
I've been saving it for since 2001, I guess, right?
Three. Don't make it worse.
2000-ish.
2003. But let's pop it open and
Oh my God.
let's actually enjoy this bottle that I've been
queens.
saving for exactly the right moment.
Is there anything more dramatic and fancy than a vintage
No,
dog?
girl, I love fancy. And by the way, like, it's so nice to be in a moment where you know it's special. Like,
Yeah.
when we were kids, I don't know that we recognized it all the time. And so reuniting now feels good because we know it's special. And Joy's gonna...
Okay, here we go.
Wow. That was very professionally done.
Thank you. I drink a lot of champagne.
Yeah,
guys.
apparently.
Ooh, look at the color.
That's what you
This is
said.
like a nice
Wow.
amber color. You're welcome.
This is
Listen,
so
I have
special.
moved several times with this bottle, so there's a good chance it's terrible.
Well,
But we're
Honestly, that would be kind of
we're
perfect.
such good actors. No one will ever know. I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Here's to drama
Here's to
queens.
drama queens.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, no, that's nice.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Well, kids, we're gonna have a great time now.
Yes, we are.
We'll see you next week. What are we doing next week?
Next week we are rewatching the pilot. So before you watch our show, I mean, if you want to participate, go watch the pilot and then come listen. We're gonna have a nice chat about all the fun things we remember, and who else knows what else is gonna come up.
A little bit of talk. Just a little.
Just a little. We deserve it.
Champagne talk.
Hey, everybody. We deserve it.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at DramaQueensOTH.
Or email us at dramaqueens@iheartradio.com. See you next time.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl,
Drama girl.
cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.